Hello guys, Crispy, welcome back to another video. Today, my friends, I'm gonna be testing the RX 5700 XT, as you can see over here in MSI Afterburner, running the latest drivers, Adrenaline 2020 20.1.2. This GPU is actually the PowerColor version. It doesn't come overclocked out of the box. It's one of the lowest end GPUs, but the cooler on it is pretty damn good. It actually impressed me a lot, as you're about to see in this video. The temperatures are gonna be absolutely great for a 5700 XT and a cooler of this size. And I am running a Ryzen 7 3700X and 16 gigs of RAM as usual, and let's get into it. I'm gonna be playing this one at 1080p 1440p as well as 4K. Yes guys, 3 resolutions at medium, high and ultra settings. So starting off with medium settings, as you can see, these are the medium settings preset. It's set to balanced over here. I feel like this is kind of medium, and this is like right here is like high, and this right here is ultra, of course. The game actually sets different settings for every GPU I test, so it's weird, you know, but these are the medium settings that we're testing right now. Okay, so let's get into the game. Let's see how many FPS we can get. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are here, and it's actually the first time I think I am reaching 100 plus FPS in Red Dead Redemption 2. Wow, this is smooth, let me tell you guys. So actually I'm just gonna disable motion blur because I forgot to do so here. There it is, the worst setting ever in video games, at least on PC. It actually makes a difference in consoles, making the game feel smoother, or yeah, something like that, I think. So guys, let's start counting our average and 1% low FPS here. So yeah, let's call our horse, by the way. There he is. Let's go, let's do this, buddy. So guys, this is very smooth. Of course, you can't really compare it one-to-one to, for example, the GTX 1080 or 1660 Ti, because as I said previously, the game just sets different presets for different graphics cards. But let me tell you, the game looks great here at 1080p medium settings, and it is really smooth. It's the smoothest experience that I experienced here so far in Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm very happy to see that, and I'm very happy that this 5700 XT hasn't got any problems whatsoever, because some people have been getting problems with 5700 XTs, driver related issues and stuff like that. This one, the only problem that I've seen so far is actually Relive, which is the program that I'm using right now to record this video. It doesn't really show anything that it's actually recording, so I might be here talking to you and not actually being recording the gameplay. I have no idea why they removed that here in this latest driver version of AMD's drivers. Yes. But that's just weird. I'm not sure if this is a 5700 XT problem as well, or if it's just a general driver issue. Anyways, I'm gonna shut up with that right now. The game looks really beautiful here at medium settings, let me tell you. It looks better than the Xbox One X settings using these settings. The game looks beautiful, it runs very smoothly. We've seen one stutter so far here during this gameplay session, and I'm very happy. I'm very happy with this performance. Let's just go inside of a forest area, shall we, just to see our minimum FPS. And guys, I know that you guys sometimes like to say that just go to Valentine or something to test your FPS, but if you watch my GTX 1080 video, you'll see that you actually get less FPS here inside of these very dense woods than in, for example, a city like Valentine. So yeah, just keep that in mind, okay? You'll get like 5 more FPS than this in Valentine. So as you can see, it drops from 100. Our average is almost touching 100. Very nice performance, very nice visuals. But of course, if you're buying a GPU like this, you're probably not wanting to play at medium settings, or at least not at medium 1080p, so that's why we're now going to be testing 1440p. Alright, so 1440p, as you can see right there, 2560 by 1440 resolution. Let's go through all of the the settings again. It's the same, you know, I didn't change anything. So medium settings across the board, or the medium settings preset. Let's see. Okay, 1440p medium settings. I think we dropped from 60 with the GTX 1080 and 1660 Ti, so I'm happy to see it like above 70 right now. Let's just get into a forest area once again to see our minimum FPS. I don't think it's gonna drop from 60. Our 1% lows now are very low just because the game is micro stuttering again. The frame time graph, yeah, it's just with little spikes, and that just means that it's micro stuttering, but I can't really feel that. You know that I can't feel that if you've watched my previous videos. The game feels really smooth anyways. If I just disabled those graphs, I couldn't tell that the game is micro stuttering. So it seems like Rockstar still hasn't fixed these issues, and yeah, the game is still running the same. So all of my benchmarks are all up to date still. So that's good. That's good and bad, because I'd like to see Rockstar fixing their performance in Red Dead Redemption 2, but whatever. It runs great anyways here on the 5700 XT. Of course, these are medium settings, but the game just looks absolutely gorgeous, as you can probably tell, or not, because I'm recording at 1080p, so we don't actually drop the FPS by too much. By the way, the FPS hit by recording with Relief is actually like 2 FPS, so instead of getting 77 FPS on average, we'd be getting like 79. Yeah, that's not a big deal. And by the way, as you can see, our GPU temperatures are pretty damn good, and the GPU is kind of, I can hear it, so it's not silent, but it's not loud at all, and I'm very impressed to see that this little cooler, because the GPU is actually small. I'm very happy to see that this cooler is pretty damn good, and it's doing a very good job compared to other coolers, for example the MSI Evoke, the Asus Strix, which had that problem with the contact, you know, with the GPU die. Yeah, there have been many issues with many coolers here with the 5700 XT. I think the Gigabyte one is one of the cheapest, and it's a very good cooler. This one, I haven't seen any reviews on it before I bought the GPU, but it's just running very nicely here, as you can see, so I definitely recommend it. I've also done a stress test and seen that the GPU memory temperatures were actually at 72 degrees Celsius, so it's one of the best coolers actually, and it's small, so it's interesting, you know. It's kind of heavy as well, but it's small. It's very well done, I think, and the VRMs are covered by the thermal pads and all of that. Not the VRMs, the memories, that's what I meant, and the VRMs as well. Anyways, that's enough of 1440p here at medium settings. The game looks absolutely gorgeous here. It's a very beautiful game, and it ran at a very nice FPS, 78 FPS on average, 51 FPS, 1% lows. Of course, it didn't even drop from 60 or even 70, I think. Let's do now 4K at medium settings. Will this card handle it? 3840 by 2160, ultra texture quality, medium settings actually, so let's go. Okay, everything is obviously still the same, and let's do this. Now the graph should be like really crazy, as you're seeing right now, but yeah, the micro stuttering isn't noticeable whatsoever. This feels like 40 something FPS, as it should. So let's start counting our FPS. Of course, our 1% lows are at 26 because of that issue, but yeah, even though that our FPS are at 45. So you shouldn't really care about the 1% low metric here in these videos in Red Dead Redemption 2, because they're just broken, you know. The game is just a little bit broken as well, but at least it runs smoothly, so I can get away with that. If it was noticeable, I would be telling you guys. So guys, 40 something FPS, we're getting 40 plus FPS here all of the time. Let's get into a forest area to see if it drops from 40 into the 30s. I'm not sure if it will, to be honest. So this is very impressive, guys. Let me tell you, this is really impressive. 4K is not an easy resolution to drive, especially in Red Dead Redemption 2, which is probably one of the most demanding games of 2019, and it's doing a good job. You could play like this. Of course, you don't need 60 FPS all of the time in Red Dead Redemption 2 to be able to play this game fine. If you plug a controller into the PC and if you want like 4K 40 something FPS, this is definitely doable, definitely very playable. Even with mouse and keyboard, the game looks absolutely stunning here. The detail is just insane at 4K resolution, and I don't know what to tell you, guys. I am very, very impressed by the performance. What's going on? Oh, those are some bandits. Okay. Okay, guys, so that's enough here for Red Dead Redemption 2 at medium settings. Let's go ahead and set it to 1080p again at high settings. This is gonna be a big video, I'm sorry about that. Alright everybody, we are back here at 1080p again, and now at high settings. This is like high settings. I just set the bar over there and selected everything that was on ultra, or almost everything. I forget about this one, but whatever. Yeah, to high, so almost everything is on high. A few things are on medium, and that one setting is on ultra. Alright, and wow, let me tell you, it's still running very, very, very smoothly here. Okay, let's just call our horse and start counting our FPS. So yeah, our 1% lows are messed up, of course, as always. Oh, this is my horse, by the way. Alright, where is it? Where is it? Okay, I'm blind, I think. Probably when I rewatch the video, it's gonna be right in front of me, and yeah, I just couldn't see it. Anyways, 80 something FPS and 70 something FPS on average so far at high settings, 1080p. This is not an easy thing to do, let me tell you, okay? So if you've watched my GTX 1080 video, you saw that that card was probably around like 60 FPS using these settings, maybe dropping to the 50s sometimes. We got a little stutter there as well, so that's weird, but yeah, you know, it's just a single stutter. Oh my god, no, my god. Okay, of course it had to come, right? Oh no, oh no, oh no. You know what to do now, guys. I'm just gonna restart the game because I don't want to kill my horse. You know, in most games, 80 something FPS with the 5700 XT at 1080p high settings isn't impressive, but keep in mind that this game is very, very, very demanding. Of course, we can't really compare it one-to-one to the GTX 1080 or 1660 Ti as I was doing previously in our previous clip, but yeah, it's just really impressive that on high settings, I'm not sure if these are really high settings, but whatever, I'm gonna call it high settings. This GPU is doing like 60 plus FPS all of the time. But yeah, I'm gonna be testing Xbox One X settings soon here with the 5700 XT, and with those settings you can actually compare my GTX 1080, 1660 Ti and other videos. You can compare all of the cards I own to each other because the settings are exactly the same in those videos. If you want to know that, Jesus Christ! Oh my god, once again! I really need to get like reviving things to my horse, but alright, that's enough of 1080p. But let me know down in the comments if you want to see that hardware and box settings using my GPUs here. So 84 FPS on average, 56 FPS, 1% lows. The 1% lows are just broken, as you know, but 84 FPS on average at 1080p high is pretty damn good. I'm just gonna restart because my horse just decided to die again. We're playing now at 1440p, as you can see. Everything is still the same here in the settings menu, so high settings, and let's just get into it. I think we're seeing like 60, around 60. Yeah, so this is kind of the same as we got with the 1080 at medium, although the presets were different, so keep that in mind always. But yeah, you know what, about the model of the GPU here, PowerColor seems to do the best 5700 XT air-cooled model here, so in the form of the Red Devil 5700 XT, and it seems like the budget options from that brand are also pretty damn good. This was actually the cheapest 5700 XT that I could find here in Portugal. It was actually bought in a store in Spain, but yeah, it was discounted. Even the reference model models were more expensive than this, so it's impressive that it's doing this good of a job here in Red Dead Redemption 2. Now we're on high settings at 1440p. It's a very hard resolution to push here in Red Dead Redemption, and high settings are still providing us with a 60 plus FPS average. Of course, we're dropping from 60 here and there into the 50s, high 50s or mid 50s sometimes, but the game is definitely very smooth. It's definitely very playable, and as it's a single player game, again, you don't need 60 FPS all of the time to have a good experience in it. Just calm down, girl. We're good here. You don't need to be like that, alright? Alright, let's just try to approach a very dense forest area, like here? No, there, yeah. This is a very dense area right here. Alright, let's see. Okay, this is very impressive. Alright, it isn't really dropping too much in dense forest areas today. It's like near the water where it gets the lowest FPS. Okay, so now we're dropping. Alright, never mind then. So 59, 58 sometimes. Yeah, around 60, even in dense forest areas. 54 right there, 55. Okay, so now it's getting intensive. Maybe because we're approaching water? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure, guys. 64 FPS on average at 1080p, 1440p high settings. That's really smooth. That it was a very impressive experience. Alright, guys. 3840 by 2160 now at high settings. God damn it, these menus are hard to navigate actually. Okay, so I didn't change anything, obviously. Let's go again. And wow, look at that. We're still getting above 30 FPS right here with the 5700 XT at 4K high settings. So if you want a 30 FPS experience, just lock your FPS, plug in a controller if you feel like it, of course, and just play with this. This is amazing, guys. Alright, so we're getting more FPS than we did with Xbox One X settings with the GTX 1080 or the GTX 1660 Ti. And I am comparing the 1660 Ti and the 1080 here in this video just because, as I told you, the Turing GPUs perform better in newer APIs, so the 1080 ends up getting pretty similar FPS to the 1660 Ti in this game, which is not a thing that you see often. You know, the 1080 is actually like 25% faster than the 1660 Ti usually in most games, but not in this one. Okay, so that's why I am comparing those two GPUs. And of course, this Radeon GPU 5700 XT is running really impressively well. 4K, and we're almost averaging 40 FPS actually. It doesn't drop from 30, obviously. It's mostly in like the mid to high 30s, as you can see. 33 right there. I think that was the minimum that we've seen so far. I think the water is really intensive in these GPUs. Wow, 31 right there, that's the minimum. So impressive stuff, my friends. 31 FPS was our minimum so far at 4K high settings. Man, I am very, very impressed, truly. To be honest, I wasn't expecting this much of a performance bump coming from a GTX 1080. So thank you so much, Digimon, because she actually gifted me this 5700 XT. Alright guys, we're back here again at 1080p. Everything is maxed out except for a few settings, which are anti-aliasing. Those are turned off over here. And, of course, resolution scale, because we're testing 1080p right now. Motion blur is turned off. And the tree tessellation is turned off because it actually drops your FPS by like 10 or 20 without providing with any whatsoever visual fidelity increase, at least that I noticed, you know. Right, here we are once again at 1080p in the Red Dead Redemption world. There's my girl over there. I'm gonna start counting our averages and 1% lows as always. And well guys, 1080p ultra settings is obviously very, very demanding here in this game, so don't expect 60 FPS out of these cards, like $400 cards. Those aren't good for 60 FPS at 1080p ultra settings in Red Dead Redemption 2. Of course, the game looks gorgeous, absolutely absolutely gorgeous, as you can probably tell. Not really through the video, but you know, you can tell a little bit at least, okay? So here in real life, it actually looks absolutely completely amazing, this game, at ultra settings. But it's really a performance hog, and you need like an RTX 2080 or something like that to achieve 60 FPS at 1080p ultra settings, which is completely absurd and ridiculous, but it's just how this game works, you know? So, oh my god, wait, holy crap, we're approaching the water and we're seeing 31 FPS. Jesus Christ. Okay then, yeah, water is definitely very, very demanding here. It's actually one or two of the settings of the water, because the water is just broken into like 3 settings, and one of those settings is very, very demanding, as you can probably tell right now, because we're seeing like 40 something FPS around foliage and 30 FPS around water. So yeah, this isn't very well optimized, or at least those settings are really intensive, and I would suggest you to just disable a few settings here in the water quality settings and just play like that. But as you can see here, outside of waterish areas, you get around 50 FPS, 40 to 50 I think, so this is definitely a very good experience still. It's very playable, of course. It's even playable around water with 30 FPS, don't get me wrong. It's still a good experience. If you have a 1080p monitor, you're still gonna have a blast if you want to play this game on ultra, but it's not 60 FPS smooth, so I don't really recommend it, you know. But yeah, high settings looks just as good. Of course, ultra settings looks a little bit better. Everything, like at the distance especially, looks very sharp and very detailed still. Let's just go. Can we just go? Yeah, there are a ton of wolves right there. Oh my god! Jesus Christ, guys. I swear this isn't on purpose, okay? As we've seen 30 FPS around water here on ultra settings, that means that at 1440p and 4K, we're probably gonna drop from 30 FPS around those areas, so... you know, I'm not really feeling ultra settings, but if you want to max out this game with the 5700 XT, you can do so, okay? So 46 FPS on average right there. 2560 by 1440, everything is still the same here. Here we go. Okay, we're still seeing 30 plus FPS around here at ultra settings, 1440p. Guys, this is amazing. The game looks really impressive, okay? Oh my god, okay, there's the water. Okay, 25. Yeah. This, I wouldn't say that this is playable for those of you that are, oh my god, in the market for a GPU, like a $400 GPU. Yeah, you don't want to see 20 something FPS. You don't even want to see 30 FPS, let alone 20. I'm gonna keep these ultra settings test at 1440p and 4K very quick here, because it's just not playable, okay? 28 FPS on average. Yeah, just avoid water. Yeah, just play like this, but avoid water. That's all you have to do, okay? 4K, 3840 by 2160. Everything is the same. Obviously, there's a ton of settings in this game. Okay. Alright, so yeah, this is completely not playable anymore. Obviously, I wasn't expecting it to be. I just wanted to know what this GPU can do at ultra settings. You should never play on ultra settings Red Dead Redemption 2, at least with like mid-range GPUs, or even like a 2080 Ti will struggle at ultra settings 1440p or 4K in this game. So this is no easy thing to run, alright? It's just not playable, okay? We aren't seeing water anymore, and we're in the mid-20s, so... Well, that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We even dropped into the 19 right there. Oh my god, okay. So, yeah. Impressive performance nonetheless. Hope you guys enjoyed it once again, and I will hopefully see you guys in the next one. I'm sorry for the huge video, by the way. If you haven't subscribed, please do so, and give this a like if you haven't already, and if you enjoyed it, and if it was informative for you, of course. So, as always, I'm gonna get out of here. I love you all. Bye-bye.